BVMS Chartered Accountants, a passionate team of local experienced professional advisors ready to help you with all aspects of your business or personal accounting needs. Client-driven and results-focused, from general accounting and audits to self-managed super funds and taxation, and specialising in agriculture clientele, with offices in Waikerie, Berry and now in Loxton, plus visiting the Mallee regularly. Contact BVMS Chartered Accountants today and see how they can make things easier for you. BVMS Chartered Accountants. Locals counting on locals. Visit bvms.com.au.
G'day, Blighty here. For 4.5 decades, Knowles Island Star Caravans have been leaders in the state. Knowles' range of Island Star Caravans is second to none, allowing you to travel in style and comfort with 5-star luxury. Dedicated to the needs of the customer, Knowles Island Star custom-built vans are a must-see for any caravan enthusiast. If you're after Australia's most popular caravan, go straight to Knowles Island Star Caravans, Salisbury Highway, Greenfields, opposite Mawson Lakes.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
Don't miss out on Bushman's Tank's Holiday Here This Year autumn promotion. Bushman's are giving you the chance to win one of 5 gift vouchers from Flight Centre up to the value of $5,000. Bushman's Tanks are built sun tough due to our exclusive and innovative SunSmart technology. If you're thinking tanks, poly or steel, visit bushmantanks.com.au or call 1800 00 8888 to find your local distributor. Bushman's, saving Australia's water and supporting locals. Full T's and C's at bushmantanks.com.au.
Solar power's what we do best. Call today, don't delay. With quality products that beat the rest. With Town and Country Solar. Call today, right away. Town and Country Solar. Don't delay, we'll help you save. At Town and Country Solar. As power prices go sky high and everybody wonders why, just call and help is on its way with Town and Country Solar. Don't delay, we'll help you save. At Town and Country Solar.
The home of the Mallee Stump. And rippin' good footy. The Mallee Football League.
Whoa, we are back with Mallee football here on the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. Excited about this. We've got Big Bruce to talk about River Murray a little bit later on, but he'll be hooking up the caravan, heading around the Mallee throughout the season. We'll talk about that later on. But I tell you what, our next guest, I've got to ask you when we bring him in, Flow Man.
Yes.
Was it something I said?
Nothing. No.
Something I said?
No. Rocket Rodney Maynard is with us for the first week because we're actually bringing a new correspondent this year. And we want to give Rodney an opportunity after all these years. He's been absolutely fantastic and faithful to us, and wanted to give him one last opportunity on the radio to thank him for his services. He's going to continue, obviously, with Mallee football, serving in the Lameroo Under-16 coaching. But we got him now. Rocket Rodney Maynard. We're back after COVID, if you don't mind. How are you?
Well, feels like an eternity, Wayne and Jason. It feels like it's been too long, and it's hard to get back into it, really. I mean, it's just been a long time coming, hasn't it, really? I mean,
well, Rocket, I've got to say, it was probably the end of 2018. The Flow Man sat me down in a cafe at Gawler and said, would you like to come and join the Flow? And I said, well, I've heard you've got Rocket Rodney Maynard on Mallee football, and that's the only reason I joined up here at Flow FM, Rocket. Been a fan of yours since I was a 10-year-old lad, and I've turned up here for 1 year, and you desert me.
Oh, well, yeah, I said to Wayne, I was happy to do it, but, I'm not in the loop anymore, it feels like, with the players and the coaching and all that. When you're in the loop, the A-grade loop, you know all the new players that are coming in, and I've just kind of fallen out of that loop, watching my daughters play netball and getting interested in a few other things, which interests me, like golf.
Yes.
Like that. I've really got into the old golf game. I've really enjoyed that side of it. So,
mate, you have nothing to apologise for. You've been an absolute doyen of not just South Australian footy, but in particular Mallee football since your retirement from the big time, getting out there, doing what you've done around the Mallee. I know not just Lameroo, but the league as a whole have been very appreciative, and we have as well for your input on this show over the years. So well done, mate.
Oh, thank you very much. No, I'm just sorry. It had to come to an end sooner or later. Like I said, I'm I'm here, there and everywhere a bit now, so it's hard to, like I said, to know all the footballers and that. I still follow Lamoureux, of course, and I'm still going to do a little bit of umpiring this year as well. So coming and going onto the golf course, a bit of everything, mate, a bit of mixed lollies, I call it.
Hey, look, I was in Lamoureux the other day. I have it on good authority from somebody who chose to not be named on air and said that they'd remove their advertising from this establishment if I did name them. But they did tell me that you are playing golf so well that they were absolutely cheesed because you've down to a handicap of, about 10 or 11 or something?
Yeah, I'm sitting on about 11. It takes, still inconsistency in that, but, you hit them all right. Well, guess what? I've been out just for a hit then and I've broken my 4-iron. How's that?
Oh, no.
I'm going to be absolutely no good tomorrow, mate. I'm just straight. I didn't do anything to it. Just hit a ball and it just snapped in my hand. So, yeah, there you go. My clubs are only 6 months old, so I'm not very happy. I'm not a happy camper tonight. So.
Well, that's a good wrap there of Lamoureux Golf. I tell you what, that's a segment for the sports show in that, I reckon.
Yeah, I think we might have to get
If only
Rocket
we knew
back.
a correspondent. Let's have a look, Rocket, at what will be ahead. I know, like you said, you're out of the loop a little bit these days, but
yeah.
Kowree-Naracoorte and Pinaroo. So you must, first of all, just be delighted to have the footy back.
Oh, yeah, no, it's great. We missed it all last year, especially the social side of it, guys. it's just been, it's missed. There's been no social events, so it'll be just great to get out and talk to some people and watch some footy. I don't get me wrong, I love watching footy and that still, and I'm glad, we had the AFL to watch last year and that, and then that's back on, but it'd be just good to have some country footy and get things going here again socially and that. Just back at the footy club and tees and getting a few numbers there and people getting out and talking. We've missed all that completely. So, I know we've been pretty lucky out here with it, not venturing out this way, but it's still, corrected our sport and a few things like that. So it'd be nice to get back into it, which is next week, as you know. And Pinaroo-Kowree-Naracoorte, with Nathan Brown coaching Kowree-Naracoorte and Nick High taking the reins there, taking over for Nick Dabnett. And they'll be good coaches and a few new players there. As I said, I'm not too sure on the new, influxes into the players, but those two guys are pretty good coaches. And, I call them inexperienced coaches. They're fresh coaches, like Nathan and Nick. So, they'll come to combat. First time out for... Nathan was going to start last year and didn't get to go, and so was Nick. So, they'll be fresh off the bait. So, it'll be interesting to see how they go first up.
Oh, I tell you what, Rocket, it'll be really interesting. I'm more keen to see how Murrayville goes because I have a look at the Mallee Facebook page and it gives me some of the clearances and so forth. And as they've brought in players, it just seemed to be a busload coming to Murrayville. And look, if any of them can play, it'll be great to see, and we're going to get a bit of an idea after 2 or 3 matches.
We will, and we've got them first up. And Murrayville, they've picked up a few Indigenous players, which are creative and fresh, and they'll give them a bit of bite too, I think. So around the place, which will be great, for the league as well, because to showcase their skills and that as well. So yeah, we're interested to see. I think their numbers aren't great. I think they'll have a fair A grade side, but the numbers won't be prolific in the Bs or their junior footy either. I don't think so. They're still up against it, but it'll good. Hopefully, they'll have a good, good A grade side that can compete with the other teams and that as well. So yeah,
I think there's been a few clearances come into my Peak boys as well, who are at home in round 1 to beat ET, the almighty, all-conquering Crows. But what have you heard about Peak?
Not a lot. No, Clooney's still coming as coach, I think, from the Hills and that. And I think there's quite a nucleus players coming from that area as well. I think he had a few that, played last year, and we did too. A few players like Wilson and a few of those guys, and Mills and that from us too. They went and played a few, in the amateur leagues in Adelaide there, and I think Alex had a few that played in the Hills and all that as well. So, no, I'm not too sure there either, but I hear they're going to be okay. But numbers is their issue too. I think they're going to, collect a lot of young guys playing B grade and that as well. I think there'll be a lot of young guys who missed Colts last year that are going to be thrown into senior footy this year. That's going to be a big step for those guys because a lot of them didn't play the last year at Colts. And how that last year at Colts is so important to you as a young player, I reckon, with your confidence and, coming up against the men the next year. And those guys haven't played a lot of Colts, so it'll be interesting to see how they go, the kids that are in the league this year.
Very good point, Rocket. Very good point.
Very good point. BDT, I've just been looking through where they've been going, and they are really keen as mustard. And just a new club room down there at Tindanara. I don't know if you've seen it, Rocket, but I reckon they could probably host the Queen of England in there because it's a massive complex.
Yeah, no, they told me it was going to be pretty good. So, yeah, no, I heard it'll be all ready. I don't think it's ready. I think we have to go to Canalpin the first couple of times. I think a few clubs do, because it's not quite finished. But I think by the middle of the season, we'll be certainly ended up at Cincinnati. But I think Starkey's still coaching there. And
Yep.
They always pick up a few. But they haven't got a lot of points, though. They've only got 4 more points, I think, or 5. But they still do all right, though. They just come in with a good brand of good players. And I think there's a few retirements there. I think Josh Richardson's retired, but we saw he played at Jervois last year and that, but he'll play B grade, I would think. And he's coaching the juniors this year too, so it's great to see him with his experience and that with footy, throwing it down into the kids too. I think he's done the under-13s, which I think his boys are involved with as well. So it'll be good, coming with him in junior footy as well. So, yeah, they'll be okay. So, and like I said, they'll be still strong. We know what they're like. They just come with a good side every week and good consistent side, and they play good solid footy. So,
Yep. Well, Rocket, it's sad to say see you from the side of Mallee football, but look forward to welcoming you back on the program next week to talk Lameroo golf.
Yeah, Lameroo golf. Yeah, bugger it. Have you got a spare 4-iron you can lend me?
I'll see what I can do.
Rocket Rodney Maynard, great to have you on board as we had you for many years. We got to see a little bit of a commentary gig going in the big TV show that's coming on every Saturday, which Flo is proud to be bringing on what is Big Bruce's a very good channel. The Jace and I will be commentating out there, so we might, when we get a Lameroo game, we might have to get your Rocket in the commentary box with us.
Oh, I'd love to come in there with you guys and have a chat, so that'd be really good. So, yeah, I was just going to say with Lameroo, we've got Matt Dent coming here. That's a big coup.
That is a big coup, yes.
It is a big coup. So, and Jetty Northcott's coming with him as an assistant, so I was just going to say just that. So I wish them the best of luck to come to the Lameroo Footy Club, and I'm sure he's going to put some spark in our boys and get them, toughen them up and get them going. So which will be really good for us, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Fantastic. Rocket Rodney Maynard talking Mallee football. We love you being part of it, and we'll catch up with you next time, Rocket.
Good on you, Wayne. Thanks, Jay. See you guys.
Around here, we love our Golden Grain, and we love our Golden Grain Hotel. Open from 11 a.m. 7 days a week, and meals available every night, with theme nights 4 nights a week, including burgers, pizza, steaks, and Thursday nights a schnitzel night. Grab a feed for $15, affordable for all the family. There's even a kids menu too. Locals or travellers just coming off the highway into the main street and find the Golden Grain Hotel. And shearers, farmers and spud farmers order your takeaway meals. Check the website for menus, meal specials, accommodation and upcoming events. Golden Grain Hotel, Pinaroo.com, or follow on Facebook.
BVMS Chartered Accountants, a passionate team of local experienced professional advisors ready to help you with all aspects of your business or personal accounting needs. Client-driven and results-focused, from general accounting and audits to self-managed super funds and taxation, and specialising in agriculture clientele, with offices in Waikerie, Berry and now in Loxton, plus visiting the Mallee regularly. Contact BVMS Chartered Accountants today and see how they can make things easier for you. BVMS Chartered Accountants. Locals counting on locals. Visit bvms.com.au.
Walter Agencies are your local bloke in Lameroo for rural merchandise and service. All your ag supplies under one roof. Chemicals, water supplies, rural hardware. Ask for expert advice on animal husbandry and the range of animal health products. They can also fill up your pet and stock feed supplies and make sure there's plenty of water storage with tanks, troughs and fittings. Walter Agencies, your local bloke in Lameroo. 44 Railway Terrace North. Phone 8576 3311. That's 8576 3311.
Southern Contracting Group takes pride in providing the highest quality products and services at competitive prices, covering the Southern Mallee, Mid-North, Riverland, South East and Western Victoria. From mobile rock crushing and screening to ready-mix concrete and bulk and civil earthworks. And the Callington Quarry is now open for quarry products including limestone and bluestone, concrete stone, ballast, rubble, road-based sand and Gabion rock wall. Perfect for contracting or landscaping businesses. Open Monday to Friday 7 till 5, Saturdays by appointment. Visit southerncontractinggroup.com.au, find them on Facebook or call 08 8576 3627.
The team at Nutrien Ag Solutions, Burn Ag in Lameroo and Karoonda are passionate about providing soil and livestock nutrition products and information that assists farmers with the best farm management practices. They also provide fertiliser and soil testing services, agronomy, animal health and insurance, along with the livestock services of Keller Livestock, Nutrient Ag Solutions, plus Mark Egan with Real Estate Nutrient Harcourts. There for farmers. Talk to the team today. Nutrient Ag Solutions, Burn Ag in Lameroo and Karoonda, helping Australia grow.
T-minus 9, 8, 7.
Don't miss the New Holland Tractors Great Rate Countdown at Ronco Motors. From as little as 0.44% on the T4 Series to 0.99% on the T9 Series tractor, we're counting down great tractors with great rates in our end of financial year sale. Order your tractor before June 30th and take delivery before December 31st, 2021 and benefit from the government's instant asset write-off tax incentive. Finance to approved ABN holders subject to terms and conditions. Contact Ronco Motors for more information. Ronco Motors, we're here for all your machinery needs.
The Southeast, known for its amazing flora, fauna and footy. Mid-Southeast Footy.
Larry the Lobster is excited as we are about mid-southeast football returning, Flowman.
He's at Kingston, though, but down the road at Robe, there is actually a fantastic...
He's pretty excited about K&T as well, but he loves it down at Robe.
You know, you talked about me being in a cafe with you and getting you to come on board, and you wanted to be here because Rocket was here. The cafe that we could have been at was Mahalia at Robe, because they're one of my absolute favourite places to go. Coffee is brilliant. And somebody who knows that is just across the street in the gym, quite often getting that knee strengthened up. And it's Jared Dawson who joins us for a look at the Robe football. Hey, Jared, how are you?
Good, thanks, Wayne. How are you?
Good. And Jace with me here, Jared. Look, this is going to be fantastic. You guys are back playing footy. Now, last year we know that it was only one club from your league that actually chose to go over to Limestone Coast Football and have a dip over there, and that was the mighty boys from Kalangadoo. But how's it been for the Robe people not having footy last year?
It was definitely a struggle having nothing on the weekends to go to. I think it's sort of shown this year, having 12 months off. There's been a lot more interest through both senior grades and obviously junior as well. So it's probably worked out all right, I think.
You mentioned the juniors, 2019. The juniors were about as strong as you could get. I think did both make the grand final, or both at least made preliminary finals? I think. From memory. So. Yeah. The junior Colts were as strong as, and they would now be into the seniors, of course, 18 months on. The senior Colts, some of them would be genuine, bona fide seniors, I imagine. And have you been able to retain many of them, do you know, that have hung around the district?
Yeah, we've retained a fair few, and there's a lot on the cusp as well, still in senior Colts. So there's probably going to be 2 to 3 playing for our A grade tomorrow, and then a couple in the reserves as well. So. They obviously play their senior Colts and then help out with the reserves, and then obviously are good enough footballers to then play A-grade footy as well. So that's pretty positive for us as a club.
Oh, yeah, it was. And those kids in that under-17 age group, they played off in a grand final and lost to Mount Burr back in 2019, but just 10 points, 8-12 to 7-8.
Yeah, so very close.
They were very much at it and not far away. And if you do remember the junior Colts, that was won by Robe when they beat the other red and white Stanton Earl at 12-10 to 2-3. So those kids hopefully are coming through. What about your twos? Have you got enough on the track that you can get pretty confident that your twos, because I know back in 2019, they were really pushing for finals berth, and I don't reckon they'd played finals footy in decades.
Yeah, that's probably one of the positive signs of having the year off. We've actually had heaps of numbers out and a lot of younger ones come out, so I think there's only a couple of blokes are actually over that 35 to 40 age, which usually we've got sort of 6 to 8, and it's pretty positive to have those younger blokes between the sort of ages of 20 and 30 coming through, and I suppose a couple of older age senior Colts that have come up is helping, and it's pretty positive on the track with great numbers. So, it's good for the club.
All right, let's talk about your seniors. Of course, you fell to the eventual premier back in 2019, I believe, in the first week of the finals. They came from 4th to get the job done. But, look, let's talk about the now rather than what has been. Who's looking after the A-grade this year? Who's the coach? What are the coaching staff made up of? And who's the skipper for the year ahead?
We've got Jack Kelly back from Woodville West Torrens, who was coaching took up a job with them in early 2020 as a reserves coach of Woodville West Torrens, and he's come back to Robe, so he's taken over the reins. Myself as assistant coach / bench coach, and then we've got Zach Dean, who's been a bit of a stalwart for the club over the years, and then Tommy Williams is another bloke that's been around for a few years. That's our sort of makeup of the team.
Prize recruits at A-grade level, who have you gone out to go and get?
This year we've pretty much got the same recruits with what we would have had last year. Geordie Hensky from up sort of Adelaide Way, he's moved down. Billy Laurie played a bit of footy at Keith and in Adelaide, North Adelaide. And then, just a couple of local boys have moved down. And we've got no travellers this year, which is pretty positive for the club. We've always had travellers over the last 3 to 4 years, if not longer. Everyone's in town training, which, it's good for the club.
All right, Robe take on Tananoola, red and white versus red and white. Now, tell me, at home, big crowd expected, obviously haven't played for so long. You're going to have the bloke on the gate with the old counter machine. He might have a bit of problems stopping them getting in.
I don't know about that, Wayne, but I think it should be a good game. And I mean, it's a bit of an unknown for both sides, not knowing what we're going to come up against after having 12 months off. So, just take it as it comes, and I hope it's a good day for footy as it always is in Robe. So,
all right.
I say this every time Robe play Tantanoola. I'm yet to see a red and white tiger.
Yes.
So for mine, it's all about the Roosters in this one.
Yeah, definitely all about the Roosters. Glencoe take on Port Macdonald in the other senior match. It's down at Glencoe. Have you heard much on the grapevine about both these sides?
No, I haven't at all. Not too sure. So I think it'll be a bit of an unknown probably till halfway through the year until everyone sort of play each other. That's when we'll sort of get an understanding of where everyone's at, I reckon. So.
Yep, and Congarong get Mount Burr in the other match, and Hatherley versus Nangwarry in the final match down at Hatherley. Across your grades, I suppose the key will be taking on Tananoola. In the junior grades, they always seem to have good sides in their junior grades, as we saw with that grand final score from 2 years back or year and a half back. So what do you expect to come out of it with your juniors and with your coaching staff there for this weekend?
The juniors have been training really well, and the senior colts have been training for a fair while over pre-season with us as well. So they're pretty strong across the board. I should hope these two teams get up, and the numbers in the junior colts we never sort of struggle with. So we got Jack Sneath taking on the role as junior colts coach from Zach Dean, first year coach, been around the club for a long time. So that's good to see him come through and take that on. And Tom Wachtel's our ruckman, he's taken on the role of senior colts coach again, which is good. So.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Love it. The Robe Football Club, it's one of those great teams. They also support country football and support us here at The Flow, and we do appreciate that, and we do appreciate you coming on board and joining us with a report each week, Jared Dawson, and we'll look forward to your company next week.
No worries. Thanks, Wayne. Cheers.
Robe Roosters Football Club proudly acknowledges our major sponsors.
Robe Hotel, waterfrontage, accommodation, gaming room, TAB and bistro dining. See you at the Big House. Come and experience the sound, the mood and the food at Robe's Lakeview Motel and Apartments. Phone 8768 2100. Topline Promotions, the very best in promotional merchandise for over 30 years. Top service and top prices. Toplinepromotions.com.au.
Let's cheer the red and the white. Go the mighty Roosters.
If it's big and it digs, Southeast Excavation in Robe has it and know how to use it. Ask about your next project, from subdivisions, road construction, block levelling and septic systems, supply and install of Jaffa limestone blocks or limestone rubble and sand. Southeast Excavations have the right equipment and get the job done quickly and professionally. If it's big and it digs, Southeast Excavations Robe has it. Find us at seexcavations.com.
Siren sounds, and the team at Kevin Wright Plumber and Gas Fitter are fit and ready for the big plays. Call into the showroom and see their huge range of Onga pumps on display. They're the only choice, with an Onga pump for your every need: stock water, irrigation, rainwater, submersibles. Be on the winning team with your local trusted Onga pump dealer and service agent, Kevin Wright Plumber and Gas Fitter, providing expert advice for all your pump needs and plumbing as well. Servicing Kingston and surrounding districts. Phone today, 87672070.
In Robe and looking for something to do? Robe Auto and Marine can help. Explore the trails and paddle the lakes with mountain bikes, canoes, paddleboards and kayaks available for hire. Or if you need local advice on fishing, they have qualified staff and a mega tackle shop with heaps of bait, tackle, rods and gear to hire, so you can hook the catch of the day. Whether it's a hire for a day or a week, see the friendly, helpful staff at Robe Auto and Marine for your next fun day out. Open 7 days.
Amy's got the team pumped for another winning season, and JB, a pro at cleaning up Mad Mondays. But let's see what the 2021 Crown End team can do. Tommy G pours a schooner. No, wait, it should be a pint. Nice save there by Tin Man, but there's a commotion in the back. Christie's new lunch menu has the punters scrambling. Shay has the orders under control, with Alan Kim heading for the wings, while Heather adds depth to the back line. It's great team play that earns a smile from Whiskers. Hang on, he's asleep again. They're winners, they're grinners, and supporters of the mighty Kingston Saints. Kingston's legendary Crown Inn Hotel.
Kingston IGA is your one-stop local shop for all things fresh. From fresh local meat to fruit and veg, plus perfectly cooked chickens. And a variety of local fish on offer, fresh on fishing days, then conveniently available frozen all year, along with SA prawns and oysters. All on offer with IGA's price match guarantee, giving you value for money. Kingston IGA, supporting local and supporting you. Why not pop in today? 32 Holland Street, Kingston. Open 7 days.
HF Dicker & Son, the name to trust for over 80 years when it comes to transport. Offering daily freight services from Kingston, Robe, Adelaide and Mount Gambier, and weekly services from Melbourne. From general and bulk freight to wool, hay and tipper services. Plus, landscaping and garden supplies with soil, sand and concrete for any job around the home, farm, shed or council area, either pickup or delivery. The name to trust for over 80 years. HF Dicker & Son. Call today, 8767 2452.
For vehicle servicing and repairs in Robe, O'Halloran's Diesel and Marine will keep your motor running, car, four-wheel drive or truck. Your local Repco authorised service centre with fully qualified technicians using only quality parts and the latest diagnostic equipment. From a new vehicle logbook service to maintaining an old reliable workhorse, get peace of mind with Repco's nationwide warranty on parts and service. You'll feel safe on the road with their professional wheel alignment equipment and huge range of tyres, including the top-selling Toyo Open Country. Visit the team today at O'Halloran Diesel and Marine, 56 Robe Street Road.
For reliable services in bulk haulage, earthworks, roadworks, fertiliser sales and spreading, and suppliers of concrete, Clark Brothers is the team to call. A team you can trust to get the job done right the first time, every time, providing professional services at affordable rates to our customers, operating a wide range of vehicles and trailers to cater for any load size, plus an extensive range of earth moving and construction equipment. Call the team who get the job done right. Clark Brothers, 8767 2229.
Tackling the big talking points in country footy and netball.
His pass is magnificent.
The Friday Night Sports Show.
Here it comes.
With Jason the Flow Man.
It's a grand sight.
On your colour of sporting country life. Flow FM. The KNT Footy League.
Yes, the Flow Friday Night Sports Show continues on, and I tell you what, Flow Man.
Yes.
KNT Football Netball, they are chomping at the bit to get going again, but they've had to wait an extra week. Now, my mail is a certain senior coach at the Lucendale Football Club has asked for an extra week off because there's quite a big event in the Coonawarra this weekend. Let's find out if any of that is true. We'll bring him in now. Sammy Gratz, first of all, how are you, mate? Welcome back.
Good to be back, guys. How are you, Wayne, Jace?
Yeah, real good.
It's been a long wait, 12 months sitting back, listening to all some other leagues get going. I'm very excited to be back.
Yeah, I tell you, we're excited too. But apparently the rumour has it that you are going to be involved in the Coonawarra's very, very important After Dark, and there is a little competition going on that you're a champion. And I was told that you were a champion footballer in your younger days, but now I'm told you're a 6-time winner of the Grape Stomping Competition.
It is. It's a big night, Coonawarra After Dark. It's a bit of a celebration of finishing of harvesting down at Coonawarra, and the Giorgios hold a grape stomp competition every year. I think we first won it all the way back in, it might be 2008. We haven't won 6 yet, Wayne. Tonight is the big night.
Oh,
We're going for our second three-peat. A bit like the Chicago Bulls. You know, I'll probably liken myself to the MJ. I carry the side.
I figured you'd have to be the MJ. So if that's the case, who's the Scotty Pippen, the one that does actually all the heavy lifting?
Scotty Pippen. Well, Josh Kay, he's the scrutineer, so he walks down with a torch at the other end of the vineyard, and he sits there. He's the other one that's probably been in every one with me. Doesn't do much work, but he makes sure the other groups don't cheat. So he's an integral part.
Well, look, before we get to the footy, I have to ask a couple more questions. So how does this work? You get in there barefoot?
Yeah, so the boys, there's 4 runners,
right,
and they run down 100 metres, pick up a bucket of grapes, come back, dump it in the barrel. Once the 4th runner's come back with his bucket, I jump in, stomp the grapes, and then you've got to fill up 2 wine bottles full of juice and put them on the table. And it sounds easy, gentlemen, but there is a fine art to stomping grapes. You can't let that sieve get blocked. You can't let the funnel get blocked. There's some technique involved.
My last question, sorry to jump in on your flow, man, but I have to ask one more. So what happens with the freshly stomped juice that goes into the wine bottles? Does that then become a vintage of some sort, Sammy? Because I don't want any. I really don't want any.
I hope it doesn't. I wouldn't want any either.
They do a fine product out there, but I'm not sure that's one of them, Flo, man.
No. Hey, Sammy was famous, wasn't he, for taking a high mark where his sprigs stomped on some bloke's head, but...
he's got size 18 hoofs. He's like the sideshow Bob of full forwards there in Lucendale. So no wonder he goes all right in the grape stomping. We should talk some footy at some point, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should. Yep.
How are your boys looking, Sammy? You are the captain coach this year, so to speak, or the playing coach. How are your boys shaping up?
Playing coach, not... but no, looking good. The boys have all been really keen on the track, so... Like you said, we're still 1 more week away, but it's just been great getting out, doing a pre-season. We were probably lucky enough to do a pre-season last year, but then we just stopped, short of the season. So we were at least fit for 3 months. But no, everyone's really keen, and the talk around the town is the league's looking extremely strong. So that's always exciting, knowing it's going to be a really good competition. So everyone is absolutely chomping at the bit.
Yeah, okay. A couple of things have happened since we were talking K&T. We had the advent of the Limestone Coast football competition, which did feature Mundalla and also Kaibi Bowlight. They both come back into K&T this year, have played a season of football, albeit a shortened season, Sammy. Do you think they've got an advantage now, a significant advantage over the other K&T sides?
Oh, not... in my opinion, no. To be honest, for us, especially, we're an ageing list, so a year off for some of us has been quite handy. But I just think, you play your summer sports, you seem to do everything in the country, so no, I don't think it's going to be a big factor. What will be the big factor will be just, who's been managed to keep everyone keen over the summer, keep their list. Being a year away, some people might have gone elsewhere. Whether they've liked it and then stayed away, that was obviously going to be a big challenge for us down here. But once again, I know for us here, we had a few blokes play in the city or play for other clubs, but they've all come back. So that was probably going to be our biggest hurdle, just making sure we maintain players and, just get them all back to the K&T, which I think everyone has done quite successfully so far.
One of the big losses that K&T unfortunately has had to suffer is... it's a loss on two folds. Obviously, a loss of a club to the league, not a loss of a club overall, but more importantly for you, Sammy, a loss of an opportunity to get one up on me. Kaniva Lior, of course.
Kaniva.
They have moved back off into Horsham Districts League. You'd be sad to see him go because I know you guys in that league are all pretty tight.
Yeah, we certainly were. Like Kaniva, I do feel for them. They were the only club that is fully in Victoria. Obviously, Francis have a foot in both sides. But really, I didn't see any other option for them, unfortunately, because if it happened again, they wouldn't be able to come over. So it is very sad, and the last thing you want to do is see teams leave your competition because you want to grow. But for them, I can completely understand they want to play footy this year, and that would have given them the best opportunity. The district league, that'll present a good opportunity for them. So there's positives and negatives against it. Obviously, we hard to see them go, but I think it was the best thing for their club in the end, in making sure they play footy, and that was what it's mainly about.
And of course, in the off-season too, a lot of junior kids have gone up to town to play at Glenelg, and you've lost a couple of really good ones that are now playing in AFL squads, which is great to see. And then Kingston have had the same happen with young Pedler going up to the Crows. So it's been a real great find for this area. You look at down there at the Mundalla side, they've got Hinge that's up there playing, albeit he's injured on the Crows list at the moment. This has been a really terrific breeding ground for AFL footballers, including the reigning Brownlow medalist in Lachie Neale. So, Sammy, you've got a lot of great juniors that have gone on from this competition to play AFL.
I think, and this is just me being pretty broad here, but I think college football's got a lot to thank for that as well. In the past, I would have thought back when, maybe 10, 15 years ago, there probably weren't as many kids going to college and getting exposed in Adelaide. The only way we used to go up there is you'd get a call from the Glenelg or the Sturts, and you'd go up there, play a game, feel like you weren't included, and you come home again. Whereas now the kids get to go to good boarding school, they get to be up there, get a good environment, and that helps them transition over into central footy. And I think the more and more kids, I suppose with farming doing better, being able to send the kids up to college, I think that's been a really good stepping stone for kids to get up there and actually want to stay there. Back in our day, most kids wanted to come home because they got homesick. So I think college has probably been the biggest thing for these kids as a good little stepping stone for them. And I think just kids down here are getting noticed now. They're looking at country kids, which is fantastic.
Mate, that's such a good point. And I'll tell you what I'd love to do. Some of the country kids that have been drafted, I can think of at least half a dozen off the top of my head. Many of them have been to boarding school. Think of Harry Petty in my old home patch.
Woodnam.
Yep. So no doubt that's a really good point you make. To finish off with today, mate, I'm going to ask you to look into that crystal ball that you have at your disposal. Obviously, Lucindale are going to win the flag this year, being that you are the head coach. So who do you think you'll be beating on grand final day?
Well, I actually think it's going to be a really close group in the top 6 or 7, and I think you could chuck some names in there like Padthaway. Bordertown apparently have recruited really well. Keith have done really well. I mean, you can never go past Mundalla. They're always up there. Naracoorte have picked up really well. So I think it's actually going to be a really exciting year. Early wins are going to be imperative. So I'm really excited because there's nothing better than, going out every week and knowing it's going to be a really good contest, so it's exciting.
Just got a text message from Graham Excel too, by the way, so I'll read that in the break. Just let man, you take over from here while I try and respond to this and smooth things over, all right?
Yep, that's okay, because the Moots down there at the Swamp are going for 4 in a row after 2 K&T premierships, then the Limestone Coast premiership, and now coming back for 2021. We are back. Everyone's back. It is exciting, and we are looking forward to this season as we get to another season of KNTFL. And great to have Sammy Gratz, the captain coach of the Lucindale Football Club, on board. We'll catch up with you next week when we're actually playing in earnest, Sammy.
I know, exciting times. Thanks for having me again, guys.
Bordertown Pumps and Refrigeration, servicing Bordertown and surrounding areas for nearly 30 years. And the team takes pride in being able to assist you with all your plumbing, irrigation and garden needs. From fittings, hoses and pipes to swimming pool supplies, water testing and ammunition supplies. Call into their new showroom and see on display pumps from Grundfos, Davey, Ongar and Southern Cross. Drop in and see Bordertown Pumps and Refrigeration's huge new location. 57 McClellan Road in the Bordertown Industrial Estate. Phone 8752 1959.
Wasn't my fault. It came out of nowhere.
Oh, no. Just my luck.
See that sign back there? Says low bridge. Whatever the reason for your car, truck, motorbike, tractor or even caravan accident, Ferguson Paint and Panel will fix it. Private or insurance repairs, no questions, no fuss.
Ferguson Paint and Panel, Bordertown Industrial Estate or fergusonpp.com.au.
Vermeer & Brothers, in conjunction with Irrigation Industries at Keith, is a family-owned business providing irrigation solutions to Tatiara and Limestone Coast farmers. Supported by Valley, the world's largest pivot manufacturer and producer of ultimate polyline pivot, they're also the largest turbine pump manufacturer in South Australia, with the ability to match pumps to Limestone Coast conditions. Improve your water efficiencies by phoning Vermeer & Brothers and Irrigation Industries on 8755 1968. That's 8755 1968.
When it's go time, nothing else matters. And our team of technicians cover over 1 million square kilometres. 70 Case IH factory-trained professionals ready to keep you going. Because at O'Connor's, we'll be there whenever you need. O'Connor's Case IH. Keep growing.
Whatever your make or model, book in with Bordertown Tyre Service for all your tyre requirements. Tyres for cars, four-wheel drives, trucks, tractors, headers and all agricultural machinery from the best brands: Bridgestone, Firestone, Michelin, BF Goodrich and Hallmax. With on-farm service to keep your agricultural machinery moving. Ask about Exide batteries at unbeatable prices. Whatever your make or model, book in with Bordertown Tyre Service in the Bordertown Industrial Estate. Phone 8752 1766.
Oh, hi, Deb.
Oh, wow, Joe. Your new entertaining area is gorgeous.
Yes, I know. We gave Peter a call at Kingston Electrical and Renovator Centre. He installed zip-track blinds and the roller shutters, even the pavers.
And just look at your new Weber Q. Is that the family size?
Sure is. And they stock all the accessories we needed too.
Oh, and I love your new curtains and flooring.
They have blinds, curtains, carpets, vinyl floorboards and floor rugs. And we've got our new freezer, dishwasher and coffee machine there.
Joe, can we rain check the coffee? I'm off to check out new appliances for our home.
Well, wait for me. I want to check out their new range of bedroom suites and mattresses.
Kingston Electrical and Renovator Centre, 33 Agnes Street, Kingston South East.
Tackling the big talking points in country footy and netball.
His pass is magnificent.
The Friday Night Sports Show.
Here it comes.
With Jason the Flow Man.
It's a grand sight.
On your colour of sporting country life, Flow FM.
The River Murray, unstoppable. Just like the footy. River Murray Football.
It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. We're nearly at the end of Flow Man, and you know what that means, don't you? Can you remember back to 2019? In fact, I don't even have to go back that far because this gentleman joined us last year to help us go through what was going on in this particular competition. It did have a kick and a catch in 2020, like a few others, but look, I don't want to steal any more of his thunder. Let's bring him in now for River Murray Footy. Big Bruce, how are you, mate?
G'day there, Jace. G'day there, Flowman. Oh, what a huge week in River Murray football. It's been a huge week. Nothing's really happened. But look, we do know that Taylor Bend have picked up a new player in Tom Maguire. And look, they are looking for bigger and better things. They tell me there's also a mystery player. So big things happening out at Eagle Park in the... Well, we've had a couple of weeks off, haven't we, since the last match?
Oh, yes.
And some big things happening at Taylor Bend. And while we think of 2 weeks ago, let's quickly go through round two, boys.
All right. Well, Brucey, I did want to say that it's great to have you on deck for season 2021, but more importantly, too, you're live out at the Karoonda Farm Fair, and it's been great through the day. They finished up out there, but I know that you've come on tonight to give us this little bit of River Murray, and then tomorrow it'll be repeated, this segment, during the Karoonda Farm Fair on Saturday. So to everyone out at the Karoonda Farm Fair today, and also, obviously, for those going on Saturday, have a great day. At Brucey, Karoonda, just up the road, road is Tailem Bend, and you did mention about Gaia joining them. He comes out of the Keith, the Crows down there, and a good player. So they keep adding to their number, and they add to their wins last week with a thrashing, 24-15, 159. They absolutely belted Ramblers 6-7-43. They got going on social media about this, and the Ramblers felt they were slightly undermanned. Well, I'll tell you what, when you get beaten by 18 goals, you're more than slightly undermanned, Big Brucey.
Oh, you certainly are, and Tailem Bend are stamping their authority on the competition. And look, everyone laughed at me, didn't they, over that pickle I had a few weeks ago with Clayton that Tailem Bend will finish in that top three, and it's certainly looking very much like that now. It could even be top two, but geez, Jason, how good's the fly man there? He's just pulled the USB out. He can tell me where Guy has come from. I tell you what, we just got the absolute, the best on here, I tell you.
He's like Dexter from Perfect Match, Brucey. Don't worry about that. He's got the paper going, the dot printer. It's away.
Well, if he doesn't know them, they're not playing, I think. And look, that was all Tailem Bend, wasn't it? So as we go to the next match, Jervois 16-8. In 16-8, Jervois 10-7. And look, it was close at three-quarter time, but look, they ran out of legs, Jervois. Imperials found some goals in that final term and got the victory again up forward. It was big Johnny Boris who banged home 8 goals and was named in the best players. But then I heard later that night that the best players, they were that excited, Imperials, they put them in the wrong way. So it was actually Lewis Demichel that was best player, followed by James Clark and Ash Tunbridge with Boris in 5th best. But gee, pretty tough on Johnny Boris, kicking 8 goals and named 5th best, and a good win for Imperials. And look, that really does make our prediction of Imperials to finish top, that early season favourite, very much on the money, doesn't it?
It does, Bruce, but I think the other game here is the one that Meningie went down. We didn't expect them to go that well. They lost by plenty against Tailem in the first round. They got beaten by Maipalonga by 10 goals. Probably a credible effort from them because at three-quarter time, they're only down by just a couple of goals, really, and they got nailed in a last-quarter effort by Maipalonga.
They certainly did, and they ran out of legs, obviously, probably a few blokes a lack of fitness, but you just scored the 1 point whilst Maipalonga kicked 7 goals to make it look a pretty good win. Well, let's take nothing away from Maipalonga, fellas. You know, they've lost half the side. These are first choice players with him, of Rory Taggart and James Moss and these sort of blokes, Gogol and Dumont and Butler. These are big-name players that have left Maipalonga, and look, that's a pretty good effort for their homegrown talent out there to get the win like they did. And look, they stood strong and come home with it. It was up forward, young lad back there, Kyle McDonald with 4, and young Murison, only a young lad out of the Colts with 4. So they've got some good young kids coming through Maipo. Look, Meningie just couldn't find goal kickers. Sanders and Robinson, each 2. Lawson named their best. Maipo's best was Clark Stegmaier on a half-back line in good form. And look, it was a good win for Maipalonga in that match.
All right, Brucey, fantastic rundown of what was round 2. They had Easter off because they started very, very early, so they could afford to do that. They're back in action in River Murray football this weekend. Now, Dexter over there across the other side of the desk from me from Perfect Match, I believe has told me there is a 92% compatibility between Imperials and the bye this weekend. Brucey, is that right?
Well, something like that, but it promises to be a big round 3 of River Murray footy. Let's just, before we get into that, have a look at the premiership table. It's Tailem Bend on top with 2 wins, Imperials 2 wins, Manum on the 1 win, as are Maipalonga and Jervois, and yet to open their account, Ramblers and Meningie. And that's looking very close, boys, to how I picked it at season start with Clayton a couple of weeks ago. And look, the story down Bridge Street is it could be a Tailem Bend versus Imperials final. It's a long way to go yet, but good signs for Tailem Bend and the coaches, Corey Smilt and Ben Hansen.
Traditionally, you paint the road if you win the premiership. Do you think Tailem Bend will head out to Motorsport Park? And
yes. paint the town.
Probably wouldn't. I don't think the on-the-run crew would be all that happy with that, Brucey. But
yes.
Why don't we have a look at who they're playing this week? It will be at the Bend, and Manum come to town.
Oh, it should be a good game out there at Tailem Bend. It's the match of the day. There's no doubt about that. Look, Tailem Bend will be looking to, obviously, Connor Smilt up forward. They've got Ben Hansen, who surprisingly is playing down back. They've got some pretty handy players that can carry the ball down there for them. And, look, they are looking very sharp. And they've got this new bloke, Guy from the KNT. He's going to be a handy acquisition for them. And I think Tailem Bend can get the job done at home. It's a few years since they've beaten Madam. Look, they've got some pretty other handy players in the likes of Franks, Mackenzie Hansen, Hogarth. So, look, they'll be around the money, I think, whilst Madam, look, they'll be looking to the guys like Bowgen and Boylan, and then their big game player in Michael O'Malley down back, and Dylan Ribbons, one of their recruits this year. But for me, Tailem Bend look too strong, and they should get the job done at home. 11-20.
Mike Malonga take on Ramblers. This is a chance for Ramblers to redeem themselves from last week's the belting from Tailem, but I think Mike Malonga out at the Fruit Bowl might take the Oranges.
Well, it also is a pretty good match on paper. You could also say match of the round. Both sides not really, starting too well. Maipo coming off that good win, Ramblers coming off that loss. So pretty even on paper, but when you analyse the two teams, it's going to be just that experience that might win the match for them. Both sides, not too many names on the team sheets at this stage on the Sporting Pulse, but Ramblers will look to the younger generation of Harradine, and they'll look to the Trevorrow and Walker back into the side, so that'll give them a bit of bite. Look, I don't know. I'm not that confident on Maipo, Wayne. I just think Ramblers might just sneak home. It should be a thriller. I'm going to go for Ramblers out there at the Fruit Bowl, 1-10. Should be an absolute brilliant match in this one in round 3.
Looking forward to it, Bruce, but your old mob, the Bloods versus the Bears, they welcome Meningie to town, and neither of these two clubs have been able to crack it for a win at A-grade level so far in season 2021, albeit Jervois have only played the one game, but yes, I think they both need a win, Bruce.
Yeah, well, I must correct myself there. I don't usually make too many mistakes, but caught up there with that premiership table. I did credit Jervois with a win, but for some reason how it's been put into the system, the bye is actually recording a side of wins, so you've got to be very careful on that. So I got caught there, but it's a good pick up there on that one, Jason. Jervois, the bye, and of course losing to Ibs, yet to get a win, so they'll be desperate for this one. Look, I can't see Meningie can offer too much resistance when you go through this Jervois side. They've got Tyron Hill back from Victoria. Look, he's going to be a big acquisition. Well, I'll make the call. I don't think he'll line up this week. He might just take a spell. Might just be going to come over every second week. So Hill probably not playing. Gibson in ruck, they'll look to him to get first use of that footy. They've got some ball carriers in the likes of the Kluskies. Zane Barry, he is just really fast on that first 5 yards. They've got a strong back line led by the general in Casey Robbins, Ryan McKay back there, and Mitchell Noy. They've got the guns in Silverlock, Woodall, some real big game players, Jervois, and they'll look to these blokes to get them over the line. I think they'll be way too good for Meningie. Meningie might score a few goals out of Sanders up forward, and Greenwood in the ruck will battle hard all day. But look, unless Meningie can come up with a few more names on the team sheet, I think this could be a 61-70 margin in favour of the Bloods.
Yeah, Scott up forward's going to be one hard player to stop. Brucey, you're a hard man to stop when you're covering the lawnmower races at the Karoonta Farm Fair. I tell you what, Saturday is going to be huge, and looking forward to hearing some feedback from that. And you have a great weekend covering sport, and of course with River Murray. Looking forward to your comments next week.
Thanks, boys. We'll do it all again next week.
We're not getting any younger, so in the end, the decision to get the caravan we've always wanted wasn't hard to make. We're glad we visited Murray Bridge Caravan and Outdoor Centre first. Their exclusive range of new Willow and Montana vans, quality used vans and pop-tops is outstanding. You can grab parts, accessories and equipment, or for service and maintenance as a qualified technician on site. Check them out, Murray Bridge Caravan and Outdoor Centre, right by the lights at 100 Morris Road. More than just a caravan centre.
It certainly is a great caravan centre and a great place for us to close the program off. Jace Regan, it's been fantastic. Our first night bringing a live broadcast of what's happening in country sport right across our broadcast regions. It's been great, and you've done an excellent job as always. Always great to work with you here on the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.
Oh, you're too kind, Flo, man. I'll tell you what I am getting a bit worried about. I've been watching out of the corner of my eye, and I know that there were pizzas bought as celebration of the first winter sports show of the year.
Yeah.
Now, I've been watching other staff members just attack those pizzas like they owe them money. And I tell you what, I'm getting more and more concerned that as we get out of here, the longer we talk, the less pizza is left. So we need to get out of here. But we've got to say a few thank yous first.
Yeah,
first of all, it's good to be back. We couldn't do what we do without Clayton Bester, who's behind the scenes. You'll hear a bit from him later in the year once he calms down and gets everything under control. I'm sure he'll burst into the studio and start singing that ridiculous Port Adelaide theme song at some point. Our man Shane, now, I know this is radio, and you can't see what's happening inside these studios at the moment, but it's like being on set at some Hollywood blockbuster. There are lights, there are cameras. What's going on? What's happened in here, Flo, man? I thought we were doing radio. What's the story?
I know, you look like Russell Crowe and I look like Brad Pitt. I think that's
all of
what
a sudden
we're saying.
I've got to wear the suit. What's going on? I can't just come in my shorts and T-shirt and thongs anymore.
You've been taking off clothing as the show's been going.
The belt was the first thing to go. That's gone.
I don't want to know anymore. Thank you very much if you don't mind that. AFLW this weekend, preliminary finals. My teams, and because we're on video, I reckon that Collingwood will beat Brisbane, and I reckon the Crow Girls will have a win. So I've hung up. There are two jumpers here. Collingwood to beat Brisbane in AFLW prelim. Crow Girls to beat Melbourne.
Well, I replaced my tie with my South Adelaide scarf because, not sure if you're aware of this, but the mighty Panthers are on top of the SANFL ladder, and I can't remember in my lifetime when that's ever happened, Flo, man.
I think it happened back when Port Adelaide beat them in a grand final when South Adelaide should have won it. They had two players, I think the Brooksby brothers, they were twins. We're going back into the very, very early 80s.
1979. 1979. That was the year I was born. Thank you, Flo, man.
Yes.
So our listeners at home can work out what that makes me. But I was about 6 months old. My dad was a South Adelaide supporter. At half-time, locked himself in the toilet, never to be heard from again.
And never brought out the scarf. You brought it out in his honour. Hey, look, also great, though, thanks everybody in our technical department, Rob Hable, who is doing our switching for us so that we can bring you live content.
You're only thanking him because he's in the room.
Yeah, and also he's got access to the pizza before you and I get to it. So
trying to keep him in here and keep him away from the pizza. I like it.
We will. But it's been good to be back in the studio here at Flow and to bring you the Friday Night Sports Show. We're looking forward to your company again next Friday night, and also, of course, for the sporting fix through the week and back to our normal programs. As we take it through, you're going to actually be back in the newsroom in just a moment.
I will be, yes. I must run over there, so I'll leave it to you to take us out. I'll head to the newsroom. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll be back again next week.
Bye for now.